welcome to Exploding Dice Gaming. I'm Steve, that is Andy, and today we are playing a game of 40k, 1500 points of Slaanesh Daemons versus the Imperial Fists. So let's have a look at the armies that we brought with us.
Okay, so for the 1500 point army I brought to face Steve's Daemons, it's being led by Captain Lysander, because I've always had a great success with him against the Daemons. Not really, but you know what, he's fun to use. He is really fun to use. Supporting him I've got a squad of Assault Terminators, 3 with Thunderhammer and Storm Shields and 2 with Lightning Claws. A little bit of variety in there. I've also got 2 tactical squads. The special weapons are for the first squad is a missile launcher and a plasma gun, and in the second squad I have swapped the plasma gun for a flamer. The sergeants are armed with plasma pistols and power swords. I've brought a dreadnought with an assault cannon, close combat weapon and a heavy flamer. I've also brought a Primaris Lieutenant who is wearing the armour Indomitus, so he has a 2+ save, and once per game he can have a 3-up invulnerable save for that turn. I have 2 squads of intercessors with the standard bolt rifles, only 5-man squads because this is my Dark Imperium set, so that's all I have. I've got 5 Hellblasters. Will they survive first turn? We will find out. They might actually get to shoot something this time. And 3 Interceptors. For the mission that we're doing, it's going to be interesting to see how I divide it up, but once we've set everything up, I will make decisions on that. So that's 1500 points of the Imperial Fists.
Okay, so this is my 1500 points of demons that are going to hopefully munch on some delicious Space Marine souls. 3 big units of demonettes, so 2 units of 10 and then 1 unit of 21. The units of 10 both have the instrument of Slaanesh. The unit of 21 has no upgrades. I have another big unit of 10 Seekers, also with instrument and icon. I have a Slaanesh Demon Herald who has Hysterical Frenzy for her psychic power. And then we have my Demon Prince, which is Lucille Blackwood, the Bloody Witch of Oblivia. So for her psychic power she has Symphony of Pain. She also has a Daemonic Axe and Warp Bolter. Those are being represented by her spear. And she also has wings. And finally we have Sacharissa, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets of Slaanesh. And to represent her, I'm using the rules for Zarakinal, Bringer of Torments from Forge World. And she is bad news. She is incredibly expensive, however, at 666 points. So we'll see if Andy's Space Marines can take her out before she can cause some horrible damage. Okay, so this is kind of how we're looking at the start of the game. We've got Dawn of War deployment. And I rolled for Roving Patrol, which is one of the new missions, new Eternal War missions in the chapter approved supplement. And as part of this mission, we've had to split our forces into 3 sort of roughly equal units, sort of groupings of units, and then randomly choose which one is going to start the game on the table. We have 3 objective markers, so there's one in the middle. And then there's an objective marker in each deployment zone.
One's over here.
Yours was over there. And each objective marker at the end of the game is worth 3 points. Slay the Ward, First Blood and Linebreaker are also in effect. So I have also won the roll-off and I've elected to take the first turn.
What battle group have you brought? Which battle group did you roll is probably the best.
Yes, so I rolled and ended up with these 2 units as my starting force. So I've got Lucille Blackwood, my Demon Prince, and my Seekers to start off the battle with.
I got possibly the worst roll for me, in which I have Lysander and the Assault Terminators and the Intercessors.
Okay.
Because of the way that the mission is phrased, I've interpreted it as that I don't think I can actually start with the Terminators in Deep Strike because of it's a patrol, therefore they should be out patrolling instead of just sort of hanging around.
Yeah. If Andy has any other units which can arrive by Deep Strike later on in the game, which we know he does, then they can arrive using the Deep Strike rules when they come in. Okay, just a quick note on army composition as well. We both have battalion detachments, which means we both have 6 command points to spend during the game. So, would you like to try and seize the initiative?
Yeah, might as well give it a try.
Okay.
Andy, famous for rolling 6s.
Nope, not quite. So it's...
If I spend a command point, can I add +1 to that instead of re-rolling?
Don't think so.
Damn it.
So it's Chaos Demons turn 1. Okay, so end of Slaanesh Demons turn 1. It started off well. I rolled pretty good for my advance on the Seekers and got them all the way up to here. And then unfortunately I failed my charge against the Intercessors. Tried to charge Lucille into them as well, but again it was just a little bit too far. She did manage to get Symphony of Pain off on them though, so they will at least be at -1 to hit if they try and shoot anything. And that's basically it for turn 1 for the Chaos Demons. So we're now on to the reply from the Space Marines.
Now, the failed charge from the Seekers, whilst in this particular scenario not being a huge thing, was incredibly lucky for me, does mean I get actually a full round of at least attempting at shooting. So we'll see how well that goes. Okay, so we'd briefly forgotten, but this is not a battle. This is not a particular battle we've played before. Yep.
But at the start of your first battle round, you roll a d6 for each unit that you still have in reserve. And any roll of a 6 up means that that particular unit comes on. Yeah. So I managed to roll to bring on both Sacharissa and my Herald, and everything else is currently off the table.
And by the end of the first battle round, he means at the end of his movement phase.
Yes, sorry.
So, but
at
you
the end of
can
my
do it at your
phase.
first movement phase.
Yeah. So we did it now because there's nothing really that they would have been able to do during that first turn anyway. So. Okay, so at the end of turn 1 for the Space Marines, yeah, it's been pretty brutal. They sent that entire unit of Seekers back to the warp,
yep.
Leaving Lucille out on her own. So, yeah.
Yeah. That was quite a lot of firepower going their way, but when they're the only target nearby, it was thing.
There was really no other way that could have gone after I failed that charge, I feel. So Andy managed to bring on the Hellblasters, the Dreadnought, the second squad of Intercessors, and the Lieutenant, sorry.
Yep.
I'm British, not American.
Saying it properly.
Yeah. So, let's move on to turn 2 then. The rest of the demons will arrive. However, they will be arriving right at the back of the board, and we'll have to foot slog it all the way up. So we'll see if there is a way that we can claw back some kind of equalising from this. Okay, so end of turn 2 for the Slaanesh Demons. Sacharissa has stomped her way up the table and managed to slice her way through all the Terminators and consolidate into Lysander, who unfortunately was a little bit taken aback by the the giant demon lord standing in front of him.
He got everything through to hit, but didn't actually cause any damage. So, you know.
Sacharissa is being backed up by Lucille, who's been giving her re-rolls of 1 to hit.
Yeah, I just imagine that the Demon Prince is peeking out from behind and going, "Yeah, get him, boss!" Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. And the rest of the demon horde has arrived at the back end of my table. The herald is kind of been left out in the open, sort of wondering where her mistress has gone. And yeah, so other stuff that happened. Lucille managed to cast Symphony of Pain on the Terminators, but that didn't actually come to anything because I didn't get a chance to hit back. And that is turn 2 for Chaos. So now it's turn 2 for the Space Marines to see if they can put this demon horde down.
Yeah, we'll give it a try.
Turn 2 for the Imperial Fists. Well, Sacharissa is still there.
Despite every bit of firepower that the Fists had being poured into that thing, only caused 3 wounds.
Yep. I think it's safe to say that rather than hurting it, they've just kind of pissed it off.
Maybe they've more excited it?
Maybe. But, yeah.
So what you're saying is I need a 260-foot giant robot. Let me just go get my Warlord Titan.
No, I think what you need is a 260-foot tall cold shower.
No, our biggest weakness!
Anyway, that's the end of the second battle round.
Okay, so the rest of the not Crimson Fists, the rest of the Imperial Fists
They don't
arrived.
look crimson to you?
Well, they've got crimson bits on them. I don't know, you Space Marines all look alike.
Racism is never okay, Steve.
It really isn't.
But yeah, literally everything in Andy's army opened fire on Sacharissa, and she kind of didn't really seem to mind all that much. Including the Intercessors. Is that right? No, the Inceptors.
Inceptors.
Yep.
Who I did give Bolter Drill to.
Yep.
They got 1 extra shot. 1 out of 18 possible dice.
It might have been that 1 extra shot that caused a wound.
Shut up.
Sorry. So that's the end of turn 2. So now we will continue on to turn 3 for the Slaanesh demons, and the giggling hordes of pink demons draw closer. Chaos demons turn 3. The horde of demonettes has advanced up the table as far as they can. The herald did really well. She cast smite into the Inceptors.
Yep.
And killed one of them and hurt another, and then charged into them and finished off the one that she'd hurt and did another wound on the last remaining one. He tried to smack her back but didn't quite manage it. The Demon Prince cast Symphony of Pain on the Hellblasters, and then killed one of them with her bolter, and then charged into here and killed another dude. And Sacharissa stomped up into the Dreadnought and took him out. Very nearly exploded, but Andy elected to command point reroll that one.
Yep.
And she consolidated into the Hellblasters. And that's pretty much it for this turn.
Yep.
For the Chaos turn, anyway.
Yes.
So we're now on to Space Marines turn 3. Imperial Fists turn 3. It's not going well for the Imperium. Would you like to explain?
Yeah, so I tried a combination of things, including charging Lysander in combat and pouring horrendous amounts of fire into pretty much everything.
They are chipping away at her. She's down to 13 wounds now.
Yeah, but it's taken me 3 turns to get here.
Mm.
Sorry, 2 turns, because obviously I didn't get to shoot at her in the first turn.
Yep.
But it's the 2 squads which had a chance, or the 2 units that had a chance to terminate, a strong chance, that is, the Terminators and Lysander are now dead.
Mm.
The Keeper of Secrets then piled into the intercessors, and they failed to do. No, they did a single wound. Sorry, they did a single wound.
Yep, that's right.
I was able to back off my Hellblasters into cover, and I was able to back off the other intercessor squad that was fighting the Demon Prince to be within range of the central objective.
Yep.
I don't see them holding it very long, but you know.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
And the lone Inceptor Sergeant was able to fly away from the Herald and then promptly turn into mulch with Assault Bolt of Fire.
Yep. There are now bits of Herald all over this pass.
Currently, score-wise, we are at the end of battle round 3. We are at 1 point each. Mine for having first blood, and Steve for slaying my warlords.
Mm-hmm. So it's all really going to come down to
end states.
End states. So Linebreaker and who holds more objectives. Turn 4 for the Chaos Demons. Andy has decided to concede the battle at this point, and I kind of agree with his decision there. Essentially, these demonettes charged up here into the Inceptor and managed to take him out. This unit of demonettes charged into here and actually rolled abysmally. They killed one dude and wounded another, and took a wound themselves in return. Lucille flew up and murdered an entire squad of tactical marines, and Sacharissa managed to finish off her unit of intercessors. I keep getting, there's too many inter things. Managed to finish off a squad of intercessors.
Interlocutors?
Yes. And consolidated into the lieutenant. And I think that's a pretty convincing chaos victory there. I have Slay the Warlords and Linebreaker, and I have this objective here and this objective here for 8 victory points in total.
Yep.
Andy has First Blood and this objective here for 4 victory points in total.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
so there we go.
There was literally, I'm sure with hindsight and the years of an analysis that a video on YouTube will have putting after it, there might have been a way I could have pulled this out of the bag, but I think it would have involved some miracle rolling, which is completely antithesis of the way my dice work. So
I did get quite lucky with my saves for Sacharissa. I made a lot of 4-up invulnerable saves in that turn where you got to shoot at her with everything.
Yeah.
And then I did it again the following turn.
Yeah. But
as my perspective as an outside observer, I don't think Andy's list had enough heavy weapons to deal with a 20-point 4-up invuln, 3-up in melee.
20 wounds. 20.
Yeah, sorry.
660 points.
666 points. Yeah.
20 wounds, 4-up invuln, 3-up in melee.
If it rolls 4 up to wounds, it does 3 mortal wounds. Not D3, 3 straight mortal wounds.
Which is a hard counter to the usual answer to that, which is Terminators. Or at least the usual answer that Andy brings to big things is drop Terminators on them.
Surprise, it is surprise Terminators. The fact that I had to deploy my Terminators first,
that didn't help.
Didn't help. But it also, then again, it wasn't a great hindrance.
I thought initially that the mission was going to work against Steve, particularly in the first round. But in actual fact, what it enabled Steve to do was keep the majority of his army off the table where it couldn't be shot. As soon as he survived into his second turn and he got everything on the board, there was too little time for Andy to really make a convincing comeback.
Yeah. So there we go. That is the conclusion of our battle report. I will attempt to get a handshake off of Andy. Ow, ow. So, there we go. An interesting battle. And as Tom said, probably decided in the list building stage. Interesting game. Definitely showed off the power of the Demon Lords, and showed the importance of, I think maybe having some knowledge of what your opponent is planning to bring, and building your list accordingly, or at least building your list so that you can have a way of dealing with unexpected threats. But there we go. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.